What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today's reaction video is a Lost in the Pond one finally, and it's 5 ways British and American yards / gardens, because I call it a garden, are different. Now this is definitely not a touchy subject, but something which everyone will have an opinion on. So I imagine this video probably doesn't reflect every British garden, and probably doesn't reflect every American yard. At the end of the day, you guys would have grown up with your parents having your garden or your yard a certain way. Me with the same, I'd had a soccer net in my garden. You guys potentially a basketball hoop or something like that. I'm not sure, we're about to find out, but everyone will have done different, and it's going to be pretty interesting to see the differences between something which is, I wouldn't say touchy. Touchy is definitely the wrong word, but something which is close to home because you've all grown up having a specific one, and then some of you guys now will have your own kids who potentially want certain things in the gardens and yards, and you may have certain flowers you like, stuff like that. It doesn't have to be kid orientated. When you're grown up like now, take pride in your garden and stuff like that, 100%. So yeah, let's get straight into this one, guys, and let's see how different our garden / yards actually are. Check out Lawrence's channel if you haven't seen it before. Link up in the description. Subscribe to that, and if you're new, subscribe to this channel as well. Let's try and hit 200 likes on this video. Absolute legends for a lot of you. I can't thank you guys enough for just being so supportive and being so nice in the comments. Now, let's get straight into it.
Sprinklers, I suppose, are pretty essential, and I can tell you from experience, on a hot summer's day, if you're walking down the street and one of them accidentally goes off on you, it can be quite a pleasant experience.
I don't know about that.
Carrying your phone.
Maybe that's the American side, we'll see.
Hello, I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to gardens.
Gardens.
Or should I say, yards.
Gardens.
Because that's the first memo, really, when Americans say that the dogs are playing outside in the yard. That's equivalent to the British saying that the dogs are playing outside in the garden. Okay. And actually, while we're on the subject, does anybody else 21 years later wonder if that person ever let the dogs in? Whoever it was a safe bet that those dogs would have experienced a much different yard / garden, depending on whether they were in Britain or America.
Okay,
and since,
let's go.
Over the last year, I've done videos outlining the differences between British and American houses, kitchens and bathrooms. I thought
we've reacted to 2 of them. I don't think we've done a bathroom one, or at least not what I can remember. So go and check them out on the channel as well. Type in Beasley 5-way kitchens are different. Beasley 5-way houses are different. You'll enjoy them ones. There's a whole kettle stovetop debate. There is a big debate on that.
Now would be a great time to do the same thing with residential yards. And you might be thinking, why would you do a video like this right now when nobody gives a lick about their gardens? And the truth is,
everyone does at times.
Having a garden.
Yep.
And also those videos are being picked up by the YouTube algorithm, right? So, you know, I want to capitalise. And
hey,
so
I don't blame
without further ado, here are those ways that British and American yards are very different.
Ambience, okay. Okay, that makes sense.
I love that sound.
The truth is, on a warm summer's day, you really can't beat the quiet, relaxing ambience of either country's yards. But think back to summer, think back to your childhood. What is the overriding sound? It could be dogs barking or a builder putting down a mug. But in my experience, if you strip away all of that, the most consistent sound in both countries comes from things with wings. Across much of Britain, the winged creature in question is a wood pigeon. They hang out in people's gardens. That's what they do.
Yeah.
And they make this noise that you don't really hear very often in the United States, and that noise is this. Sorry to the wood pigeon community.
I feel like that is a very bad attempt. I'm not going to give my attempt, but you gotta get the gist.
And while we certainly have types of pigeons in the United States, this large bugger isn't one of them. Look at him. He's already had 3 courses. He's going in for his second dessert.
Hey, I don't blame him.
Greedy
Fair
bastard.
play.
On the other hand, when I think of the soundtrack to American yards, there's only one creature that comes to mind. Chainsaw Jim from next door, but also crickets. Now, I talked about these excitable creatures before on Lost in the Pond, so I won't be propagating their sinful activities any further. But suffice to say, that recognizable sound, so that was a bee, that was awful.
Yeah, that was nothing like a cricket.
Throughout Midwestern summers. In Britain, the same is true of these.
Clothesline, yeah. A clothesline is, if you don't know what one is, again, we'll find out if you do not. A line from potentially the house to the back fence to the garden, depending on where you live. It's obviously subjective to what kind of house you have, what kind of garden you've got. But one I had at my dad's was at the corner of the house, washing line. Probably 8, maybe 9 foot high, maybe even 10 foot high. going all the way across the garden to the fence to the other side, and then you hang your washing up. You've got a pole in the middle to make it higher, and then you can bring it low as well if you need to put clothes on. It works well, but let's see what Lawrence has to say about it.
A country that's reluctant to air its dirty laundry in public, Britain has no problem doing just that with clothes straight out of the washing machine. Now, there are some drawbacks to doing this. Number one, the pegs can help deteriorate the fabric. And number two, it takes flipping ages. But on the plus side, it's eco-friendly, your clothes flap in the wind in a really pleasing way, and they end up smelling like Britain. But after moving to America, I was surprised to find a distinct lack of washing lines in people's yards. And that makes it sound like I've been snooping, but the truth is, I have. Now, of course, there will be Americans watching this going, we have a clothesline, because all Americans sound like Kermit the Frog.
That was an awful American accent.
We had a clothesline in the 70s, or whatever. Right, there are exceptions. And there are a couple of good reasons for this. Firstly, the United States doesn't do the whole let's have a washer and dryer in one combined unit thing. They just have really effective dryers. And the second reason is that in parts of the United States, homeowners associations have actually moved to ban it, citing them as eyesores that could devalue the property. However,
wow, I did not expect that. To be fair, it makes sense, you know, if you're end of the day, you wake up on a fine Sunday morning like this was, which is why you only got one video today. I'm so sorry, guys. I need a little bit of a rest. But a fine Sunday morning, you look out the window, you don't want to see someone's knickers in the next garden, do you? You just don't. You want to be able to see a nice row of gardens, mainly focus on your own. You don't want to be seeing someone's knickers.
I get that. Several states did pass right to dry laws, which specifically forbid those associations placing ban on clotheslines.
Okay.
But even with a sharper gaze on the environmental benefits, America still ain't got nothing on Britain. Of course, if my neighbours are so reluctant to see my socks and my underpants and that mysterious Princess Leia bikini, perhaps they should consider the size of this.
Okay.
Firstly, let me clarify, if you're confused and you think the word fencing is used here to indicate that British people use their gardens for sword fighting, you're wrong. That was phased out in the 90s. Fencing as in the protective perimeter around your yard.
Yeah.
And in Britain, front yards don't so much as have a fence, but often a brick wall and a gate. These walls can range in height from half a Danny DeVito to an entire Danny DeVito. It's also not uncommon in Britain for both the front and the backyard to be surrounded by a hedge. Where you might see a fence, usually that of the wooden variety, is in the back garden, and this is often replicated in the United States. But there are a couple of areas within the world of fences that America does things differently. Firstly, I was kind of thrown aback by the vast amount of front yards that don't have anything. Not a fence, not a hedge, not an army of gnomes.
Oh, wow.
On one hand, I like this because it seems quite inviting, but on the other, it does encourage people to trespass onto Chainsaw Jim's yard. What Chainsaw Jim really needs is a white picket fence, something that's famously common to the United States.
Yeah, that's actually quite surprising because in another separate video, we were talking about how Americans, you don't just go up and, I know it's a little bit different, but you don't go into the personal space. I think it was a Walter's World, the don'ts of America. You don't go into someone's personal space, you don't allow it to that. It's just rude in them countries where other countries, obviously France and stuff like that, they do a lot of kissy on the cheeks and stuff like that, just when they meet each other, a lot of cuddling. So you'd have thought you'd have wanted to put a border around your garden to stop people coming onto your land. I get the fact that who's actually going to be coming onto your land, but it kind of just signifies, okay, this is your land, you can do whatever you want in it, no one can really have a complaint. And then if people have gone over a wall to then come onto your land, there's no real excuse of them going, oh, sorry, I didn't realise I couldn't go here. Or, you know what I mean? Along them lines, let me know in the comments what you guys think about that.
But one area where fencing tends to be more prevalent is the American backyard. And while this can indeed include wooden fences, there's one type of fence you'll see here that is not common in Britain.
Okay.
Chain link.
Oh,
and
wow.
I understand that most Americans probably don't give these fences a second thought. But to me, they're amazing. And one of these days, I'm going to install one so tall I can use my garden to have a steel cage match.
Oh, God. Yeah, that seems weird. Yeah, you don't get any of them in the UK. From at least what I've seen, again, this is just my personal experience. I don't really know what to think about them. I feel like that's more... It kind of, to me, again, let me know what you guys think of the description, kind of a metal fence gives you more like jail vibes. I don't know why, but it definitely gives me jail vibes and stuff like that. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. But yeah, jail vibes, kind of trapped in. Instead of just a nice wooden fence and it looks friendly and stuff like that. Let me know what you guys think.
When I entered my first spring here in the United States, one thing that really stood out to me was the prevalence of sprinklers. People stick them out of their front lawns, and we don't do this in the UK because our sprinklers are placed in the clouds. But because of a Midwestern climate that doesn't really lend itself to effective lawn care, sprinklers, I suppose, are pretty essential. And I can tell you from experience, on a hot summer's day, if you're walking down the street and one of them accidentally goes off on you, it can be quite a pleasant experience unless you're carrying your phone.
Surely they can't wet you that much. And on sprinklers, again, it's all... Some places have it, some places not. I've lived in a lot of houses where we have used sprinklers at times, because sometimes you do get nice summers where the grass does need watering, so it's always nice to have a sprinkler, but I imagine it's definitely not used as much as it is, let's say, Texas or somewhere like that, where it's absolutely boiling. I hope I've got it right. I know Texas is extremely southern as it gets in the US, so I'm expecting that to be very warm. But surely it's just a little sprinkle. Even if you've got your phone on you, it don't make you that wet, does it? Size, okay, yours is going to be bigger.
If you've been watching my videos for any length of time, you'll know that there are two constants: my confused expression and the fact that my videos always come back to size.
Yeah.
And yards are absolutely no different. Let me tell you a story. When I was approximately one Danny DeVito tall, I, like any child, used to play in my garden. By Brit.
By the way, how tall is Danny DeVito? He keeps getting used as reference. I generally don't know, what, 5'5"? Something like that? I'm assuming small, because that's what we're going with. 6 foot? Let me know in the comments, guys, because then I'll get a bit of a better idea. I'm thinking more like 5'8" or something like that. Just an average size is what I'm going with.
Britain standards, this garden was of relatively average size. So
yeah, it's pretty
my
average.
Rich friend
I give
from
him
the
that.
village over invited me round to his. I couldn't believe that his garden was so big that his dad had built him a miniature railway.
Wow.
By Britain standards, this could have been the garden of a millionaire. Or
Yeah,
not, because after
right.
moving to the United States, I realised that no, that's the size of everyone's garden here.
Oh,
In
wow.
that childhood garden, I was banned from playing soccer because you're only ever 5 feet away from the kitchen window. However,
yeah, but you just got to get good enough not to miss. Come on, Lawrence, he's letting me down. He doesn't look like he's maybe the best at soccer. Let me know in the comments if you are. If Lawrence sees this, I'll take it back. But, you know, you just got to avoid the window. And if you smash your window, well, it's their fault for letting you play, I guess. But yeah, soccer nets definitely prevalent in them small. That's what we're talking with the small garden. We definitely have soccer nets in there. Majority. I'm not saying for everyone, because soccer isn't for everyone at the end of the day, and maybe Lawrence wasn't a fan of it, which is fair enough. But in most gardens in the UK, I'd say there is a soccer net.
My in-laws' house in Indiana, I don't think I could have hit the window if I'd tried. And
Wow.
I did try.
Maybe that's why I didn't hit it, because he was trying.
Now, before we finish, a quick rapid fire of miscellaneous items. Hanging flower baskets. Which country does them more? Britain.
UK, yeah.
Gnomes. Garden gnomes.
UK?
Britain again.
Yeah.
Although you do find them in the US, according to my Twitter feed. Barbecue pits, definitely America.
US, yeah.
In fact, I don't remember seeing one of those at all.
We've got barbecues, but not pits.
But we don't have the pit.
You know, it's like we're conjoined. We're both British and we know what we're going to say. Wow.
I don't think anyway. I never had one.
Yeah, I
Why
haven't
didn't
seen
have
many
one?
pits.
Mom? Dad? Bugs. I'm not sure that either country has more bugs than
General,
they just
I'd
have
guess.
different types. Midwestern gardens will get way more mosquitoes, fireflies, things like that. Britain, you'll see more slugs and snails.
And
Who
ladybirds.
has more flowers in their garden? Again, this might come down to the type rather than the quantity.
Yeah.
But having said that, I think British gardens can be perceived to be more flowery because their gardens are smaller, so they have to pack more in. Which country's gardens are more likely to have a pond?
US.
I don't know. The answer to that question is lost in one.
Yeah, the pond got lost in the pond. I'd guess US just because I haven't seen many gardens with ponds. But again, I know there is loads over here which does have ponds. So again, it's subjective at the end of the day.
That's it for this episode. Let me know.
And that is the end of the video. I've absolutely waffled loads in this video. I had loads to say, to be honest. This is why I love these videos, because Lawrence is another British guy. Sometimes I'll predict what he's going to say accidentally, like the barbecue pits and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll say something completely different, but that's why I enjoy it. And let me know why you guys enjoy these videos, because you seem to enjoy them at least. Let me know if you don't like them, and that's fair enough. I will keep reacting to them because I really enjoy them, and that's why we do this channel, guys, because I enjoy it. The interaction with you guys is absolutely awesome, and everyone's happy, and that's what we love, a great little community of everyone being happy. If you've enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button. I would seriously appreciate it. We are so close to 10k. We are so close, guys. I never ever thought we'd get anywhere near, and the fact we're so close is absolutely amazing. I can't thank you guys enough. So many legends who are here every single video, and yeah, absolute legends. Hit that like button as well, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.